This is going to be your ultimate guide to wear different necklaces with 10 different types of sweaters. Now, there's no rule when it comes to styling and fashion, but over the years, I've just discovered more flattering ways of wearing my favorite necklaces in the colder months. So starting off with the first type of a really simple V-neck thin sweater, like the one that I'm wearing now. The tip here is just to wear something that's more dainty. I typically don't like to layer more than 2 necklaces when it comes to a simple V neckline, just because the neckline itself is sort of a necklace shape. As you see, the V kind of goes down naturally here. That draws the attention to the center. So I like to wear a dainty pendant necklace like the one that I'm wearing now, and maybe the most I will do is pair it with another dainty necklace. You could layer them like so, or maybe wear the top one more as a choker style. I think both ways are really flattering. The key here is to make sure that your pendant doesn't go too long or deep inside the sweater, because if you wear a really long necklace, first of all, if it's longer than the V neckline, then as you move around throughout the day, your necklace will inevitably go inside your sweater. And unless you want to hide your pendant, I don't think it is necessarily the most flattering look. And also because of the shape of your neckline, if the pendant is too long, then the pendant forms another V that is just not parallel to the V of your neckline. So again, not the most balanced or flattering look. I wouldn't go more than 2 necklaces for a V neckline. And if you want to keep it simple, you can also just take off one of the necklaces and just wear one dainty necklace, the most elegant classic look. The next type of sweater is just a thicker, chunkier V-neck sweater. Now, I am using a wrap sweater to show you as an example, but the key here is because of the volume of your sweater, you don't want to pair it necessarily with the daintiest necklaces. Because there is already a lot going on with this necklace, I decided not to layer it with anything else and then really let the pendants here shine. What I love the most is because the pendants are heart-shaped, naturally it forms this little V shape at the bottom, which pairs really well with the V neckline, and the length of it is kind of just enough that you can see the pendants right before where the V starts. Alternatively, you can also go for a layered look. I love to start off with a pretty chunky chain choker just to, again, balance out the volume of my sweater. So I could very well just leave it like this, but if I want to create more of a statement look, I can very easily pair it with another longer pendant necklace. And I think the key here is the pendant needs to be noticeable enough that it really balances out with the chunky choker. I just really love the juxtaposition of the feminine pearl pendant design as well as a really edgy choker look. A thin crew neck sweater seems to be the easiest sweater to style, but I still think that you should try to wear Y-shaped necklaces with this one. To demonstrate, I have a layered Y-shaped necklace over here. Has really cute rose pendants. I love that because it is a really simple crew neckline, the pendants can just go crazy and it still works really well with my sweater over here. And because it is a darker color sweater, this is where you can really bring the shiny things of your necklaces like diamante detail or diamond detail, or wear something that is shiny, that's a sterling silver or gold, that can really serve as the icing on the cake of your outfit. On the other hand, I really don't recommend wearing chokers with this type of neckline. Just to demonstrate, I have this really cute pearl choker here. I think that because the choker sits pretty much above the neckline of my sweater, it just makes my neck look shorter. So if you have really long neck and you want your neck to look a bit shorter, then I would say go for this choker with crew neck detail. But for a lot of us, it just feels like you are being a little bit suffocated by the choker here. And if you really want to wear a choker, I would definitely recommend balancing it out with a Y-shaped necklace. Like this pendant necklace here, so at least it draws the attention down to where the pendant sits so that it helps elongate your neckline and still pull off a really cute look if you are just really into chokers. Now, if you have a chunky crew neck sweater, then the key here, again, all about balance, is to wear something that is also chunky and Y-shaped. So this one is the perfect example here. I actually wear this combination a lot, also because I love the cream color pairs really well with this almost rusty gold color, and it just really helps your really basic simple sweater stand out with a pop of statement. This is also where you can go wild, pair with different types of statement necklaces to change up the look of your simple sweaters. Even though I don't recommend wearing chokers with crew neck sweaters, because this choker is so statementy, it just really helps balance out the chunkiness of the sweater, and it almost looks like the choker becomes part of the sweater. And the key here is to make sure that your chunky choker really covers the neckline here, so it really looks like it's blending in with the rest of your sweater. But if you do have shorter necks like I do, this is probably not the most flattering look for your neckline, but it still looks really coherent, and once in a while I just really want to wear my chunky chokers, and a perfect crew neckline could actually make it work. Next neckline is a thin turtleneck or a thin roll neck. Same rules apply. This is where you can really go wild with layering the different kinds of necklaces. When it comes to layering, I love to have necklaces of different lengths, and I typically end with some sort of pendant necklace. Now, because I want to create more of a statement look, I chose a statement necklace as the longest one here. And then this is actually one necklace, but it just come layered, so you really see the different texture, thickness. It adds something interesting. And because the shape of a turtleneck, high neck, or roll neck is pretty round on the edges, I love to start off with something that is short, that is also roundish, to really go with the neckline of my sweater and create a balanced look. However, a chunky turtleneck, high neck, or roll neck is a completely different story. As you see, it already makes me look like I have no neck. So the key here is to bring in necklaces that will help create and elongate that neckline. And you probably know by now, use a Y-shaped necklace to create that neckline. And because it is chunky, I am going to use also a chunky necklace here. So with the addition of the necklace, your attention, instead of focusing on how crowded my neck area is instantly drawn to my chunky pendant. And the weight of the pendant balances really well with the weight of the sweater. In fact, I pretty much only wear this necklace when I'm wearing chunky sweaters, because if I wear the necklace in the summertime, it is actually quite heavy on the neck. But because I have the cushion of my chunky sweater neckline, it feels really comfortable. It adds something of a statement to my chunky sweater, and it just makes me feel really great and not super conscious about how short my neck is when wearing these types of chunky roll neck, turtleneck, high neck sweaters. In this case, I also don't recommend layering necklaces because you already have a lot of material around your neck. For cardigans, I really love to wear simple dainty chokers just because the cardigan itself kind of opens up the neckline for me. And if I just want to show off my collarbone, I think chokers are a great choice. If you want to have a layered look, this is the similar tip to how we style V-neckline, which is to also choose a pendant necklace, but make sure that it does not go beyond the layering piece. Bringing back my pearl pendant necklace as an example, this is a really great layered look, but also doesn't take away from the neckline of your cardigan, the casualness of a cardigan, but just adds something different, something very elegant to a cardigan look. If you're wearing a bow neck or off-shoulder type of sweater, then I would again recommend something that is long and V-shaped just to help balance out the proportions here. So imagine this being a choker. It kind of further extends your neck area horizontally. So unless you really want your shoulders to look wider, I think a more flattering look is to bring something that is more of a V shape and helps again draw your attention down here so that your neck looks really long and it helps show off your collarbone as well. But to be honest, my favorite way of wearing off-shoulder or bow neck sweaters is just not wearing it with any necklace. Let your collarbone show, let your neck be exposed, because this is the most elegant way, in my opinion, of wearing this types of neckline. Similarly, for something that is asymmetric, I also don't like to wear a necklace with this type of sweater just because the asymmetry of the neckline already adds something interesting to this area. But if you really want, choose something that feel like it'll really blend in with your sweater. Bring back my chunky choker as an example. With the chunky choker here, even though it is adding something that's very statementy to the sweater, it also looks like it could be part of the sweater. So this is probably the best way to create a coherent look. I definitely would not recommend going for necklaces that is going to cross over the neckline detail of your sweater, because that is just going to add distraction to the outfit. Versus here, it really looks like the choker is just part of the design. Do you want to wear necklaces? Lastly, if you have a collared sweater, which is being so popular these days, I will recommend something dainty and choker style, just because you don't want to compete with the exaggerated collars too much. And also, if you are wearing a choker, I also don't recommend zipping your collar all the way to the top, so that first of all, it will block a lot of the choker, but also it just makes your neck again look much shorter. So I like to almost create this really big V effect with my collar and pair it with a really dainty choker, and I am good to go. Let me know in the comments what other types of how to style videos you want me to film, and I will see you in one of these ones. Bye!